Hey everyone, welcome back to Rollahan Garage and welcome to my 2017 BMW i3 Rex. So this is the range extender version. This is one of my absolute favorite cars. I think I even like this more than my Tesla Model Y. This is just a really cool, quirky, absolute fun to drive EV, and I think a lot of people are not maybe looking at this as like a really good EV. I remember when these were announced and I fell in love with the car and I was like, oh, this is incredible. I love the concept. It's super cool. I like really small, lightweight EVs, and it just made a lot of sense to me. And then I seen the price. I think it was like $65,000 or something like that, and I didn't look at anything further. I was just like, oh, it's a shame that it's so expensive. Fast forward to a couple months ago, I was looking at some BMW E90s, so like an 06 to 2011 3 Series BMW manual, and on a whim, there was one of these for sale in my local area, and I decided to go take a look at it. And I was blown away with the car. I started doing research into the car and I just had to own it. It's such a absolute blast to drive. It's 180 horsepower, rear wheel drive, very lightweight. The non-range extender version is about 3,100 pounds, and the range extender version is a little bit heavier. Alright, sorry I had to change locations here and I apologize for the wind. Been trying to make this video for a long time. So again, very fun car to drive. I was really impressed when I took it for a test drive, so I ended up purchasing the car. There's a couple things that make this car special, and then we'll go into the interior and talk about it a little bit more. So the car is really lightweight, like I said before, which lends itself to being a very quick, very nimble car. It's so fun to drive this, especially like in the city. It has lots of power. Like 180 horsepower doesn't seem like a lot, but being rear-wheel drive and so lightweight, you can zip around and just have an absolute blast. The other nice thing about this car, and something I didn't know about until I looked into the car, was basically from the frame of the car up is carbon fiber, which for what I paid for the car is such an incredible deal, and BMW put so much technology into this car when actually designing the frame and trying to make it lightweight and stiff. The entire roof is carbon fiber. This is all carbon fiber. If we open up the door here, this is all carbon fiber. The entire top life cabin or frame of the car is carbon fiber. The actual frame for the battery is aluminum, and they do use some magnesium. Really awesome amount of technology, and these are an incredible buy right now. You can get these cars for under $25,000 in Canada, and they make an incredible EV. They make a great first EV or a second EV. Really awesome. You'll also notice too here on the front, these actually have very skinny tires, which are designed to obviously reduce friction and help with range. There is a little tiny front trunk under here. It's nothing special. I'll show that to you really quickly. Basically, you can store like the tow hook and stuff like that. So just a little tiny cubby storage right there. This is where you put your windshield washer fluid. Nothing major, but still nice to have. Another really awesome thing about this car, I didn't know about it when it came out, is suicide doors. Incredibly easy for me to get my kids in the car. This is a great car for 4 adults. There's lots and lots of interior room. The car might look really small, but it's so big on the inside. I am about 6'1", something like that tall, and I fit absolutely perfect. I really like that this doesn't have a sunroof because I have a lot of headroom. The rear seats, of course, fold down. Cup holders back there. This car is really minimalistic, which I really like as well. Seats are all manual, no power seats, nothing to brake. It does have power windows. They could have done with manual windows, would have been totally fine too. Let's hop in the car here really quick. Get out of the wind. So I really appreciate the fact this car is simple. There's no crazy technology as far as driving aids and things like that. It has just normal cruise control, unlike my Tesla Model Y, which uses the cameras, and I hate it. We'll talk about that when I do the review on my Model Y. Physical buttons for most everything. Something cool is all of these 8 buttons here are fully programmable for any function you want. So something really awesome about this car is in the back of the car, this is the rec. So behind that seat there, this has a 2-cylinder BMW scooter engine. And what's really awesome about this car is that scooter engine, it's not connected to the wheels at all. The only thing the scooter engine does is it charges the battery, which is really awesome because you can actually drive this car on full electric power. When you're getting low on power, you can just turn on that scooter motor, and I've programmed that to my 8 button. So when you press number 8, the scooter motor will turn on and it will charge the battery. And it's enough charge for you to continue driving without losing battery power. So this car has a backup plan. It makes it much better for road trips, of course. It only has about 220 kilometers of range on a fully charged battery, and the range extender gives it about another 150 to 160 kilometers. This car has been modified with the BMW coding software, which means there are a couple features that have been unlocked. And anyone can do this as long as you have a code reader and the BMW coding app on your phone. So this car has the ability to turn on the range extender at any time, which is the number one thing you want to do if you own one of these cars. From the factory, the range extender would only turn on if the car got to like 6% battery, I believe. So now I actually have the functionality to turn the range extender on whenever I want, as long as the battery is lower than 70%, 75%, something like that. So if I'm on the highway and I'm going on a long road trip, I can save my battery, like my actual fully charged battery or my battery at 75%, and I can turn on the range extender and I can use the premium fuel, which is this holds about $10 of fuel, and I can then save the electricity for when I get into town, fill up with fuel, and then just top up a little bit of electricity or vice versa. It's really, really versatile. I have taken this car on a 600 kilometer road trip without any problems whatsoever. It was super cheap, and there was no wait times or anything like that. Another thing about this car that's really awesome is because the battery is so small, it charges really fast. So if I go to like a flow charger that's only 50 kilowatts, it only takes 15-20 minutes to charge the battery. It's not a really big deal, and I hope more car manufacturers start thinking about electric cars like this. Make them smaller, make them lighter, and use smaller batteries. Your charge times are much shorter, and you don't need super fast chargers. This car, I drive this car all the time. I take my kids to school and pick them up, or I run errands or go pick things up, and it's so efficient. I don't have to charge the car every day. I only charge it every so often when I need to. And it's very, very quick, like I say. It has iDrive. This still is a BMW, so it does have iDrive. This one does not have the technology package, so it has the really tiny screen. You can get a upgraded like 10-inch screen on AliExpress. I think they're like $500 or something like that. And then you can also get a add-in module that goes under this panel for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Those might be some upgrades that I do. Leave a comment below if you guys want to see some upgrades on the screen and also adding Android Auto and stuff like that to the car. There's not a whole lot. You can see on the side panels right here and actually on the dash, that is a hemp based panel. So it's not actual hemp, it's in the hemp family, but it's basically resin infused plant fibers. Again, really awesome, lightweight. It looks really cool. It's very durable. Again, I really like what BMW did and the effort they put into this car. It's a shame it was so expensive because not many people bought them. They're relatively rare and hard to find. This was the only one for sale, kind of close to me. I got a really good deal on it, and I am there's a smile on my face every time I drive this car. It's so cool. It does have a couple driving modes here, Comfort, and then there's Eco, and then Eco Pro. And that will basically like limit your acceleration, give you a bit more range, that type of thing. The i3S does have a sport mode, which apparently I can code into this car. So if I press up here, it would go into sport mode, and I believe it gives a little bit more torque off the line and things like that. I don't find that really necessary in this car. It's very, very quick as is. The car is not fast, but it is quick. So I kind of view this car as a modern BMW E30. If anyone knows what a BMW E30 is, it's basically a 84 to 91 BMW 3 Series. They're incredible cars. I've owned a few of them. They're really difficult to find now because they're vintage cars. And what that car had was, on paper, it didn't sound very amazing. You know, they had like 170 horsepower. They weren't anything fancy as far as numbers, 0 to 60, that type of thing. But when you drove one, it was the prime example of more than the sum of its parts. Incredible driving feel, amazing handling, quick, fun to drive, the perfect size. They're just incredible cars. If you own a BMW E30, you know what I'm talking about. If you can find one in your area, go buy one. They're amazing cars, and they're bulletproof. They're super reliable. They're very simple to work on. They're incredible. I think this BMW i3 is the modern version of that. It has about the same horsepower. It weighs relatively same amount. It's rear-wheel drive. It has a nice compact size like the old 3 Series had. That's why I like this car so much. It's the simple execution of an electric car, and this one, having the range extender, has more options if you want to take it further or drive farther. And as you can see, like, no sunroof. There's tons and tons of headroom here. I fit in this car really, really well. I've had 4 adults in this car. Like I say, there's lots of room. The suicide doors make up for that. Yeah, it's an amazing car. I really consider anyone looking for an electric car, or maybe want to try out a second, car, and they're thinking about an EV or something like that, definitely ask questions in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. I might make a couple more videos on this car, like I say, if I want to upgrade the entertainment system or anything like that. If you are going to buy one of these, I recommend buying a 2017 and up. They definitely have some good upgrades. This one has metal motor mounts. They're not plastic. And then it also has better batteries, and it's slightly larger battery. So like I say, try to get a 2017 and up version. And yeah, ask any questions below. And thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.